Look, I know what a dog throwing up sounds like.
It
and
did sound
you're
exactly like that.
Yeah. Or as a cat owner, you hear that noise, you scoop, and you run.
On one of Eric's streams that he was doing with the Dark Souls game, Penny came up to me and just threw up all over me.
Nice.
And I screamed. It was the worst thing ever.
Why are you like this?
Why did
Your
you come to me to do this? Why did you come to me to do this?
I know that feeling very, very much.
It's because you're a source of comfort, and they were feeling.
I know, yeah, it totally makes sense.
understand.
And I
Sweet,
get it.
but it's also just
Fantastic. She
awful.
threw up on me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Alright, speaking of throwing up, Rakaf is alive.
Probably throwing up.
Nah.
Killed the spider monster, puppeteering a dead mage.
I'm a
As you
loot
were
the dead mage.
scouting out this area. They're recently dead. You know, not medicine check notwithstanding, but like they're not rotten or anything.
Medicine check.
Recently dead. Probably killed by the spider.
Lie down.
Yes, that makes sense.
No, I know nothing.
Just for fun. I
Probably
wanna
killed
do
by the
one.
spider.
It most likely died 12 hours ago or something. This spider is
Yeah.
probably like the Chithines in that it's probably always been here and it's just prime hunting ground right now.
I'll do that thing where you like crouch down, like put a finger on the pulse, scoop up some blood, just like 12 hours ago. It's a fresh kill.
Noticeably, the
valid medicinal method of measurement.
the creature, the body is the mage is drained of their magical power. You can kind of tell because it gives a different kind of exhaustion on the body when you're out of spell slots.
Interesting. In that case, can I try and take one of the? Oh, actually, first I'm gonna ritually cast detect magic. And
we just sit here for an hour, then, and can I just rest?
Rakaf, can you help me take the spider's head? I want to talk to it later.
Its head has a hole in it. That doesn't give you any issue at all.
No.
I'm gonna
It has
take.
little choppers. Fine.
Oh,
no! Are you
Yeah,
taking
you
the
have to
spider?
take the chompers off
Yeah, I
of
can talk to the
the.
spider.
I'm just gonna take
No,
the
no.
head. I'm just gonna
I thought
sever
you could only talk to humanoid.
Nope, creatures.
creatures.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay,
technically corpses.
Corpses. True. A creature's
Okay.
corpse, I think, is the.
Well, the issue is I was
corpse is
about
an
to take
object.
his chompers.
No, don't take his chompers.
don't take
Can I see where the magic is being stored? If it's like if it's still there or dissipating?
There is nothing.
Okay.
Your detect magic doesn't tell you anything. If you didn't roll a 1 on medicine check, I'd say you might be able to work out whatever organ stored the magic. But
Oh, okay.
you got.
I can talk to it, and then you could take the chompers.
Okay.
I'm gonna cut the head off, slowly and carefully, and just do
It's
it.
an insect. It's quite easy to remove. You could just twist the head eventually, and it'll pop.
Yeah,
off.
but I don't know.
Am I the only
just
person who
won't-
twists things until they break?
Yeah. But anyways, I'm just gonna do it slowly and carefully because I'm still just recovering from being unconscious, and my hands are shaky because they were just surged through with electricity. So Rakath is going slower than normal.
I thought being shot by electricity would make you faster, like the
Well, this is
Flash.
the problem. He's moving too fast, so he's having to consciously slow himself down to do it without just breaking everything.
Is the goal
Yes,
of
inside
your
the
Oh.
head bag.
clean cut?
No,
Has
no,
that-
just cut without me stabbing myself.
Because I mean, I can do that
was-
for you.
No.
it
I'm
was
gonna
still
lie
in
down though.
gold? Can I try and figure out why? If it was like if where it like
Arcana
had
check.
stored some already, that sort of thing. Arcana, okay. Oh come on, nope.
Most
Oh,
magic
simple.
requires gold in one way or another. If you're a wizardly spellcaster, this is a wizard
okay.
that they're carrying around. Most likely, this
Did it-
this spider is technically a wizard. It most likely needed gold to cast spells. It doesn't have any kind of pouches or pockets, so you imagine it was probably swallowing it.
Okay, I don't need gold that bad.
Nah.
Oh, I do. I'm gonna sever the belly of the.
That is a survival check.
You sure I can't do it with my torturer's tools?
No, this is a spider.
Okay.
Do you
I
want
mean,
help?
I'm a torturer in Drow society, though.
You are?
Do
Spiders
you
are
want-
good boys.
Not
Good
all
girls, really.
spiders are good boys, and I'm sure I've tortured at least one spider.
You
in
have
the past.
definitely never tortured a spider.
Okay,
Spiders are
alright.
always innocent. It's the
Do
people
you
controlling
want
the spiders
Yes,
who are the bad
yes,
boys.
I want help, and I will actually help you do it, boss, because my hands are still.
I
shaking.
mean, my survival's not awesome, but I think it's the best in the party just because
you have like a what, a plus 3
I
or
just
something?
didn't dump wisdom.
Yeah, mine.
I was
mine
gonna
was
say,
so.
realistically, spiders are
Yeah.
good girls, not good boys. Because regardless, in Drow society, every spider is definitely a she.
Yes.
So what were you trying to remove?
the gold from its
The
stomach.
gold from the stomach. You cut. You
Oh,
basically
yeah.
take your time.
We're doing a bisection of the.
Yeah,
of the
you're
corpse.
taking the thing
Fine.
apart, cracking open the shell, getting into its insides. There is a bunch of liquid gold in a bladder.
Ooh,
It's like
liquid gold in a bladder, you say?
liquid gold and like acid, so it's very interesting.
We need to separate that.
And some of it, you can see
That's
some of the
nice.
more recent coins, and it's all gold. It only is interested in gold. Silver has its own use in spellcasting, but not wizardly. And bronze is just fucking useless. So yeah,
Alright.
you can get that.
We're gonna.
It's not very
separate it all.
large. It's,
Yeah.
probably like 10 gold's worth of actual gold, but the
It's melted
curiosity is more interesting than anything.
We now have gold acid.
Yeah, you have gold acid.
Good.
Don't know why I give it
Great.
to that.
Do you want to hold on to that, Rofi? It's going to be more useful for you than it is for me, I think.
Okay. one vial of gold acid.
Good. Can I just sit for a bit, please? Is that,
I'm down.
that okay with everyone?
Yeah.
I would like to take a short rest, if possible.
I will keep
Sure.
a lookout to ensure nothing disturbs us further.
Did already probably take half an hour taking apart this spider, so that's just taking even longer time. Mr. Voss, can you give me a perception check if you are not resting?
I am not resting because it
That's
will
why-
literally do nothing for me. Great.
Oh.
Am I going to be able to recover hit die? That is my question.
Yeah, you're
for
not
you,
bothered
Ollie.
for an hour.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
You're fine.
Okay, I will continue to.
Oh,
roll hit
damn.
die.
Nice.
8, 5, 7. It's actually really good. 4. Yeah. Hold on. 8, 7.
Hey.
20
Okay.
plus 4
I'm
is
good.
24. Let's do one more. Great. I'm back at full.
I'm one off full. So,
That's
good
not
enough.
terrible.
I
Could be
didn't
worse.
regain any.
Could be worse. Could be worse.
Oh, you had to do arcane recovery instead?
I don't have to. I just think it's a better
Yeah, no, I know.
It's a better choice,
use
probably.
of my,
yeah.
my resources.
Yep.
That was a lovely nap. Thank you for keeping watch, Voss.
Luckily, nothing disturbed us.
Good. Well, let's go.
Okay. You follow the map further down.
Wee wee.
Down this far in the deep. You're dealing with the ruins of what once was, mostly being used as foundations. All of those foundations have been eaten through by creatures, leaving little tunnels and nooks and crannies. You can occasionally see creatures scuttling through. There's a constant, even though You're so far down, you don't even have like this noise of the wind in the city. The quietness has gone to another level where it's no longer comfortable. It's a very heavy quietness, punctuated by the droning of creatures in the dark, like giant worms and jittines and other similar things. The tunnels above look like they're borderline to collapse and usually leaking with the fluids of the bog slums and things like that. It's a very strange place. Following the map leads you to what Rakak would very easily be able to tell is was an overflow runoff area. If the city were to flood, the water would flow into here and not the rest of the city. Not super essential now the city's so large, but I mean, still useful. But when the city was smaller, whenever this was built, very useful, very essential. There are also amazing places to make any kind of lair. Hence, the Torturous Tavern is made in a very similar place. Because they're usually well-maintained but abandoned, if that makes sense.
It doesn't, but that's okay.
They have to be made to stand the test of time and be strong, but don't have to be maintained or have any kind of guard presence or anything like that.
That makes more sense.
Yeah, well, shut up.
Got him.
The area here is very dry. It's out of the kind of flooding and things like that. And the rain, because it's still the rainy season. And this place is clearly was lived in. When you get past the entrance, which doesn't really have any sort of gate or anything, but you can tell would have had guards. This place looks like it was a refugee camp or something similar to that. You can see some tents. It looks like most people took everything with them, but there's some things that are left abandoned, more permanent structures, chalk art on the walls, things like that. It's very dry in here. Aside from a steam coming from one of the cavern walls and things, it's just this big, empty, but not empty space, in that it's got this ruins of things.
Okay. In terms of entryways, does it appear that there is a single solidified entryway, or is there?
It looks like, I mean, you would bet there would probably be other ways in and out of this place, but the easy way is the way you just walked in, which is almost like a ramp downwards.
Yeah, just based on floor plan, because like what I'm wondering is if we need to worry about people coming and, you know, ambushing us if they come
A place
back.
like this almost always has other entrances and exits, but whether they are used or whether they're just ways you could get in and out.
Right. Well, I'd like to investigate. I want to just take time and just go through the whole fucking place.
Let's stay together and look for clues.
Let's stay together.
Give me investigation rolls, team.
All of us?
Either help.
So
Either do it or you can help you do your
Who is
thing.
the best at investigating? I would know at this point in time.
Me.
I have 7.
Definitely.
I have a +9.
Oh, you.
Would anybody like me to invest your finding on them? That's what I'm saying. That'll do your average and it'll do a
I
wide
don't know
area.
what I'm looking for, sir.
I don't really know what I'm looking for either. I just want to find stuff.
Finding doesn't really look for what you're looking for. It just shows you things of interest.
Oh.
So if you have a +9,
I'm gonna invest your finding on both of them. It takes a second to cast. And if you can choose to investigate normally afterwards. How about that?
Okay. So.
Or you could do it the
Can't
other
just
way
cast
and
normally
investigate
anything.
normally, and if you find a place of interest, cast finding there to see if there's anything you missed.
Either way.
Which
Might be reasonable.
more useful for the
Okay.
way they would likely cast it.
I will.
In which case, do individual investigations, you two. And
Okay.
you other two if you want. Or you could do something similar, like a...
I would
Something-
That'll be a
prefer-
23.
I'm just going to assist them. So somebody can roll with
Oh,
advantage.
well, all right.
You roll with advantage, I'll roll normally.
He already rolled!
I already rolled, so
Go.
you're rolling with
You do
advantage,
it.
my friend.
Yes.
Oh, it's
He
not
said
on
what it
there.
was. It didn't roll on the chat. That's why he said it out loud.
I rolled a 23, just for clarity.
And that's a 21. And what did
I'm
Voss want
just
to do?
gonna roll perception instead, not to look for minute details, but it's
Keeping an eye out.
looking for like ambushers, that kind of
embodied.
thing.
You smart. It's a good idea.
Great.
Oh, never mind. It's a bad idea.
No one here at all.
Ah, yes, this wall is made of wool.
Very safe and very cool.
He like walks past an illusionary wall. Yep, no one's here.
Just like see like a spider, like, oh, look at this statue. Anyways.
Moving on.
It's that scene where the like the people sneaking just, and then goes like God like walks past and like
Lost
Austin
in the
was
wind.
just in a comedy.
I've been in a comedy this whole time.
Yep. Little did you know.
So, Rofi would immediately be interested in one of the few permanent structures here. And by permanent structure, I don't mean a building. I mean a setup, a forge, quite clearly.
Ooh.
Made of mobile forge parts, which you would understand. You drag a lot of your forge with you. Someone did the same, and then set up here and continued using it. What is quite noticeable is that it was clearly upkept by a very good blacksmith that worked on both weapons and armor. Some of it is still here, looking around and the things and the materials that we used, while most things were taken with them. It seems that quite clearly they were working with Virustal, which is a very rare material that is only made in the manufactory district, which would make sense if the weavers got some. Very powerful material. There's not really enough left to do anything with, just residue and stuff that you can recognize. Another thing of note that you would notice is that this blacksmith didn't have a lockbox for money or anything like that. They weren't being paid. They were just kind of part of the faction, seemingly.
Can I see how they were if there was anything special they had to do to work Virus Steel?
They were not
is Virus-
making weapons out of Virus still. It seems like they were sharpening and maintaining them. Whatever made to create them basically wasn't there.
Good to know.
My helping is just going to be, oh, loot it. Take all of it. You see that? Take that, Roofie.
Take that, Roofie, or else.
Yeah. See that? Take that, Roofie. There's not enough of this to actually use. It's just sort of leftover residue. But some of these parts might be. I'm going to like take some of the parts of the forge.
Yeah, exactly, and you'll just keep them with you is kind of what I was imagining. Meanwhile, Rakath is wandering around other places. Rakath would be very interested in like the remains of tents and things like that, and pillows and blankets and things like that that elves would keep around that they didn't really take with them. It does seem that the actual leaving of this place was quite sudden, and while there were most likely a lot of people here in the past, when they left, the numbers were a lot lower. That would make sense with what Kato told you, in that the Weavers were doing really well, and then kind of petered out, and then seemed to be involved in whatever happened recently. Like, there's setups for training new soldiers, which were not used for a long time, stuff like that. You do find, like I said, there's a steam. One of the side chambers goes off to a natural hot spring, which is perfectly pleasant. Another reason why this would make quite a good base. And then you find the thing that you're most interested in, what was clearly a little command center, similar to what Kato has. Whatever this stone structure was here, it was here for quite a while, probably not made by them. It's almost like a ring. So it makes a perfect like desk for all these plans and notes and things. And while it looks like a lot of things were taken, a lot of things weren't, especially heavier things like text written literally in stone slabs, which is not entirely uncommon.
It's done by the dwarves more.
Done by the
common,
dwarves,
right?
yep, and there's definitely some dwarves who would fit in a place like this. I'm trying to think what you would find of great use here. There is a lot of detail about the manufacturing district. How to take it, what the plans are. Noticeably, a lot of attention is drawn to what was essentially the Warstrider's penthouse, which isn't on the notes of the building, but you can immediately assume, based on the layout and a circular chamber in the back, that there was almost definitely a teleportation circle in there, which would be why they'd be most interested in, because some of the other things that are laying around are arcane notes of about teleportation circles and how they function. Quite hastily
Perhaps notes that might be able to be used by someone who is of an inclination, perhaps?
They would not be anything you have not already been told in this campaign.
Okay.
You know how teleportation circles work for us.
We know how they work. It's more just I'm wondering if this is something that Yuna could use to learn.
This is not...
but not enough.
No, this is just knowledge, not a spell scroll.
Fair enough.
This is knowledge being given to a non-spellcaster explaining how it works.
Right. Okay.
By someone who does know how it works.
Right. And in terms of the battle plans, are those written
No
on
battle
stone?
plans.
I mean, to take the manufacturing areas. You said that
Well, yeah, it's not battle plans, more like a layout.
Okay.
Yeah. It is weird that there are no battle plans. They might have been taken with whoever the Ronin if they were here.
Yeah.
Might not have been. Who knows?
Okay. Well, I'm not going to take anything. Yeah.
Can you give me a perception check, Rakath?
I can.
Because Voss rolled a 1.
It's a 14. That's better than 1.
It's after sifting through this place for a little bit that you get that feeling of being watched.
Mm-hmm.
You look around for a bit, and you can't see very well in the darkness, but you do see the little glint of whatever light is in this place reflecting off something glass that skitters away on the ceiling.
I just need to read something really quickly.
Oh. Oh, no!
In that moment that I see it, I'm just going to quickly tell it to stop telepathically. We'll see if it responds.
You can give me, I suppose, an intimidation check. You know what? Intimidation check.
If you were going to say intimidation or persuasion, it's the same.
Nope, I wasn't.
Okay. It's a 9.
You do feel kind of a, like, it's got to connect. Similar to, like, message or sending or something like that.
Yeah.
You do feel a kind of connection, but not like when you've been talking to other people. And of course, this is all instinctual for you. So you definitely feel something's there, and then it very quickly gets out of the range, because it skitters away.
We have company. Small, crystalline, skittering thing on the ceiling. Look for it.
Anyone else?
I do that.
If they want. Perception or survival, I suppose. But perception is likely better for all of you.
It's exactly the same. Oh my god!
Oh!
Still worse than
Royfi's-
boss.
Royfi's lizard brain is active.
This is actually perfect. Voss is like, I see it, and starts charging, and Rofi just kind of charges along as well, not quite seeing it immediately, then seeing it. You see something skittering along the ceiling. At first you think it's a spider, maybe some kind of strange... Like, there are spiders that have, like, sort of a metal shell that exist. But then you very quickly notice, Rofi, that this is an Arcana Tech spider. Specifically, the kind that Tanuma invented.
Oh,
And is like, it's
Okay.
like skittering backwards while watching you, very noticeably with a different lens in the eyes than it usually they have like spider eyes. This has like one big almost camera-like eye on one side that is watching you as it's skittering away, and eventually you manage to corner it in one side of the building, and it's like up in the corner, just sort of staring down at a lot of you.
How tall is this area?
Oh, it's like 20 feet on the corners at least. Probably higher in some parts than others, but 20 feet in the corner.
Rofi would say, Tanuma?
Honestly, if I see it before any of that happens, I'm going to cast Mind Spike on it so it doesn't get away.
You can catch up at this point and cast Mind Spike on it. Hell yeah.
Yeah. I'm not sure if it's going to do anything because it is a little Arcana creature thing. I don't know if it takes psychic damage.
That's a good question.
But...
I was able to make a psychic connection with it, so that's at least something, but...
Yeah.
Who knows?
Not knowing that, yeah.
Yeah.
I must check.
I feel like this spell shouldn't work on it, but...
It shouldn't. Yeah, immune to psychic. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Okay.
So you kind of like, and it doesn't react. It kind of jitters as like the magic travels through it.
Is it immune to mind affecting stuff? Because technically the secondary effect is different than the damage.
Yeah.
A good question.
Yeah, you have the second
I'm
part.
just curious.
I mean, if it fails or succeeds, which it fails.
Cool.
So you can like
Am I
track
mind
it.
linked with this spider? Yeah, that's weird.
Kind of. I mean, you've cast this spell successfully before, and it's just not quite the same, but it is functionally very similar.
Huh. Okay.
The thing is, like, on the ceiling, its little lens, like, twisting and focusing on people.
I hate it. Can we
I
kill
just
it?
want to note, Rakath hasn't followed at this point.
Backup is really far away.
He's
in the
focused
dark.
on the stuff.
Okay.
I am lighting a lantern, though.
I know.
It didn't respond to me saying...
It did not.
I
mean, admittedly, Yuna cast a spell on it. Very similar time.
It can't hide now.
Can I look at see for differences in design other than that eye from
Yeah. I suppose this is an Arcana check for you.
Okay.
You know about her Arcana spiders. They are self-replicating, which is entirely possible this could be a mutation. But then why would there only be one? They travel in groups. This is one of those like experiments that she made and kind of went out of control, but in an interesting way, so she didn't stop it. So Arcana spiders just exist in some parts of the Underdark now and are like a terror, but so are giant spiders.
I'll be talking while I'm like watching this and relaying everything. Just
this doesn't. You haven't found anyone else who could make something like this. It would be entirely possible for someone to grab one and alter it, but they would need to be very smart. You are pretty sure that Tanuma altered this one.
Okay.
It's terrible. Can we kill it?
What are we not killing?
No. This might be useful. We might. Tanuma might have altered this one specifically. It could be. We could use it as a line to get in contact.
Why does it have one eye?
Why would we want to get in contact? We already had contact.
Well, she might be
We
useful.
may not have had contact with this Tanuma.
Yes.
I'm gonna try to climb up there and grab it.
Give me an athletics check to climb
I have
up
a ladder.
Oh, but he
That'll
doesn't give a
help
shit.
you. Okay.
He's just like flat wall, stone.
You said it was in the corner.
Yeah,
so
it's in the corner. You can do that. You can do
I'm
that.
gonna
Yeah.
triangle jump up. there.
Triangle jump up, grab the thing. It like goes, and you just get down to the ground with it in your arms. It doesn't. It's struggling, but not much. Like holding a cat.
Right.
It wants to be let go, but is not really making a noticeable effort to do that. And this is when you can hear it clicking and whirring and humming and...
I'm just gonna crouch down and just kind of like, still holding it, just like hold it out to Rofi. Just be like, well.
Hanuma, is that you? Are you watching the feed of this? Oh, she might be getting the feed later.
The spider?
Are you in there? No, she might check the feed later. That might not work. How would she normally control these if she controlled them at all?
It's hard to tell if she could control them, but she did semi-invent a form of magic which could store video in crystal. It's very likely that there is a video crystal inside the spider.
Interesting. We have a couple of options. We could record a message for her and then let it go. But remember, everything we say now is recorded in what that thing's seeing.
That's a terrible idea. I don't know who's getting these things.
Wait. If it can relay things it's seen, is there a way for you to access those memories?
That is not
whatever?
a bad idea. Can I try and...
You can give me a... do you have Tinkerer's tools?
I have Smith's tools. I believe I actually do get Tinkerer's tools.
I think you do have Tinkerer's tools.
Well, yeah. I think we did run into this. I just hadn't put it in again yet.
Yeah, this would be a Tinkerer's Tools intelligence check.
Okay, so I'll just do an intelligence check for now, and then
you add
adjust
with your proficiency modifier, which is a 3.
So this plus 3.
Excellent.
Ooh.
Excellent.
It's real good.
You take out whatever you have and pop the head of the robotic spider open. Behind the eye is a whole bunch of camera stuff that you don't understand because cameras haven't been invented yet. And in the back, a shaped crystal to fit in this place, kind of squarish, that kind of like rectangular cut. Similar to the soul gems that Una buys, it's usually like a very cheap crystal. Because it doesn't matter. It just needs to put stuff in it. But noticeably, it's a cheap crystal. But you can kind of see, like, light in it. Like, images. Not like an aether crystal. Not like something like that. It just has, like, flickering light. And so you could totally take that out. It's very well kept in, but you know how Tanuma makes these things. You know essentially the locks and twists and things. You were trained by her, so you can remove the video crystal absolutely if you want. Now, looking into what's inside it is another kettle of beans. That would be an Arcana check. It requires its own kind of magic to do so, which you don't completely know.
Okay. Sorry, do I need to check right now? Sorry, because
if you want to,
and...
if you want to look at the video, you can do it right now. If you're just like, okay, we can look at this whenever, you can do it later.
I want to look now. Let's have a look.
Arcana check, please.
Might be relevant, yeah.
Yeah. See what this little guy has seen. Hey!
What was it? It hasn't rolled through.
Oh, 23.
That's
why I was like, yeah.
Let me reload the call on this end.
I rolled a 16.
Okay,
and that's plus 7.
Good. It takes a bit of a process to work out how to look into this thing. It's very much like looking into film. You have to kind of get the lantern light. Oh dear, I've gummed it up. You have to get like the lantern light in the right position. Maybe you could use a little bit of like encode thoughts and similar magic to that to look into the video crystal and project the light out of it. It's not a very good system, but it works enough.
I would also be willing to do detect thoughts and then encode my thoughts if you want, like,
exactly.
Off of it. Yeah.
I don't think you need detect thoughts. I think encoding thoughts is probably enough.
Well, encode thoughts only works
on you.
Like, yeah.
Sure, that would be the best. That would be the easiest way to do it, then. Okay.
So funny.
That's fine. I gain a personal spell slot from casting it anyway.
Exactly. You're playing the game. what you see is essentially a lot of this place from where the spider was. It's like a view of the same area that Rakath was, the circle of stone with the plans. And this isn't like this thing has been here long enough to pick up before these people left. The people had already left. Although, you do see occasionally more weaver on the video recording, like, sped up incredibly quickly. As it's been here for a day and a half? It looks like the crystal could hold a lot more than that, probably up to a week or so. Occasionally you see a couple of weavers looking into the place. And, like, picking things up that they left. But not full-on people leaving or coming. You know, a couple of people.
So what are we gonna name it? Itty bitty Tanuma?
No, that's not going to go down well.
You can't call
Better Tanuma.
Better to
Tanuma
Tammy.
2.
What about cool Tanuma?
Tanuma 6.
Torum 2.
Oh my god.
Oh, no.
What about
Sequel.
Tito?
Cool
Tito
Torum.
is a good name for a small dog-sized robot spider.
That's what I thought.
Joe?
Tito.
I like Tito.
And noticeably, would you put it down while they're doing this? Because he took the crystal out.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You put it down, it just kind of steps up next to Rofi and follows him around, like, put it back, please.
Yeah.
Like a hungry dog. It just kind of follows him. Very
I
quietly.
think it wants its capacity to make memories back.
I
want to give
do
it
I put
scritches.
Do I put it back?
It does react to physical stimuli.
I'm giving it scritches.
You see the little, like, tiny cogwheel mandibles twist and turn. It's very delicate.
I love him.
I hate Tanuma. I love the spider.
Hello, Tito.
Okay.
Okay. Do I put it? This is saying to the group. Do I put this back?
No.
Not until we know how to clear it.
Okay.
And tame it. Keep it for our own.
Were we able to see the weavers that were here, like, any particular direction there?
No, like, you saw maybe, like, 4 who came to pick up things in small groups. And then you see, it sees Rakath, skitters away, and then you charge after it. And then a really uncomfortable close-up of Rofi's face for a little while. You know, like...
Exactly that.
It's also of note that it is in black and white.
Yeah.
But it's like black and white night vision, because this is pitch black, so...
I am gonna put the crystal in my bag in such a way that it wouldn't be able to be, like, pulled out of my bag, but in a position where the spider can get up and sit on my bag, where it's close to it. It's not. It can't get to it, but it's close.
Let's put the treats in my bag so that it...
Yeah, this is a treat in the pocket taking the dog on its first walk thing.
Exactly.
Yep, I'm familiar
The
with
bag
this
is
training
big enough for
technique.
Tito to... kind of onto the back.
Give it more scritches.
Kind of blends in very well there.
Yeah.
Just saying, I got that spider soul. We can put it inside Tito and make him a real boy.
That spider wanted to kill me. I would rather not. I
So
like
Abby.
Better. Look at Abby wanted to kill me, and now look
Yes.
at her.
It,
It'll hold up. Haunted doll.
I'm not sure things like that actually survive. From what I've learned from doing, I think it's like the soul has the essence, but not like. I don't know if it has the memories.
I am
like a
begging
stasis.
you not to put that spider mage's soul into the body of this small
please.
lacking dog thing.
this.
Please, it's gonna be great.
I mean,
Tito
it's
is
got
already
plenty-
perfect
it's
as
got
Tito
plenty-
is.
I give
It's
Tito
got.
more
It's alive.
scritches.
It's like it's working. It's alive already. We can make another one for the spider though, maybe. I can try and.
I'm
make
gonna
one.
look at the spiders. I'm like, you're real boy. That's gonna be good.
No.
Fucking sure. Like, let's just do that.
Give the soul to Reginald first. God.
Reginald has a soul.
Not speak
That
to
is
me,
debatable.
Reginald.
Jesus.
Reginald most likely has many souls.
Reginald has devoured more souls than you, Yuna.
Yet he is still empty. This is troubling.
That is the
He
fate
is
of all
adorable.
necromancers.
Not speak to me of the darkness. I'll have no part in it.
So, what's the plan next, party people?
Well, we kind of investigated this area.
Yeah, it looks like most things were taken with them. No sign.
So I guess-
no sign of the Ronin returning after all of them leaving, and it seems like they left in a hurry, most likely to a battle.
So I guess that at this point we're just trying to track where they went. Is that the move?
They would have gone to the factory district or the farming district.
Right.
We could go check that out, though, if you'd like.
Factory district sounds cooler.
I mean, either one, really. They're pretty much in the same place.
Who wants to go to the farming district?
They're, like,
It's
literally
ultimate-
right next
Sounds
to
so boring.
We're looking for this Ronin, correct?
They're literally right next to each other. And yes! Probably!
So,
Do we need to? I feel like it might be unnecessary.
well, they're not here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Accurate.
That's yep.
Please impart more of your wisdom upon us, Voss.
It looks like they left.
Fascinating.
They
Continue.
were here,
Yes?
and now they're not.
So far, so good. Continue.
So we should try to find where they are and go
Boss.
there.
Voss would be the one doing the, recap at the beginning of every episode of the plot points that are important in that tone. This is what happened. This is what is next.
The High City was there, and then it wasn't. Can I roll survival to just try to find any type of lead as to tracking a samurai specifically?
Yeah.
Because I'm assuming that
Can
individual's gonna.
I help him in any way through the
Yes!
plans and things that I discovered?
Give him
Before
the
to
old
give-
advantage.
yeah.
Okay.
I'm just telling you about everything that I found before. To
He's
help
being a
give you
nerd
guidance.
about it.
Yeah.
That's a natural 20.
Oh, well, I can't see
Fascinating.
it, so...
It didn't go through.
No,
I don't know if
it
we
Roll
believe
twenty
gone
is just
through all
trolling
the-
us so much.
I mean, I'll screen cap it, but it's there.
I
At least this
believe
isn't happening on the one time I played a game with someone who works at Roll20, and I was so many times nearly about to just casually insult it, as I do with everything, and then I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Probably don't appreciate that. It seems quite clear, this was a military movement quite suddenly, but very organized, and nothing the Weavers did was disorganized. This was a very organized motion. You can kind of see, almost like looking at the back and out, you can almost see the way they funneled out, very clearly to the manufacturing district. You reckon to that penthouse, which is very deep in, so they'd have to fight their way through. So you can head out that way.
Yeah, I will convey this information, of course.
Let's go, shall we?
Okay. Walking, climbing through the gross places. You aren't attacked by a spider wizard. You can get to
Good news.
place I described often to kind of overlook over the manufactory district. And like I described it when Rakath and Rofi were looking before, unlike other parts of the city, this is kind of still in a bit of a state. Clearly under the control of the Weavers. There are flags raised and flags burning. Watchtowers teetered over, collapsed onto the castles. The manufacturing district is not a bunch of Victorian factories. They're a bunch of castles that build things. And they are clearly all stopped because they have this constant runoff and flow that has all been stopped, which means actually some of the pipes that like run water into the place have like backed up and burst and are creating waterfalls down the side of the cavern and stuff like that. This is probably the place in most disarray you've really seen once you stand and like actually focus on the place as a whole. It seems the kind of central way, according to those notes, they would have to travel from an entryway to the penthouse is completely under Weaver control, and from here it still even looks like a little bit of like militarized control, like for a couple of Weavers who actually know what they're doing, rather than most of them being children, you know.
Yuna,
Are we just gonna introduce ourselves and?
that's the plan.
Yeah.
Your eyes are currently blue. Yes, I'm having trouble seeing.
Yeah, no, I mean they usually are, unless I'm reminded to do it. I usually
that's
forget.
Good, that's for the best.
Rachel
Okay.
makes me do it. It's awful.
Let's go talk to some people.
We're going to
Why does
approach
that
the
matter?
first, most organized people that we can see.
Like a lot of these areas, there's really one core way walking in. Now, because this is a factory, there's lots of ways for resources and stuff, but less so here. As you approach, there is clearly an ogre. You can see where there would have been shackled chains that have been removed from the armor. And standing beside them are a couple of Weavers. Again, they've got a hodgepodge of armor stolen from this district. Good. Probably a lot of Weavers are from this district. So there's those two kind of before, literally like a portcullis that would enter you into the district. And the ogre just like lifts the chunk of stone pillar that they're using as a weapon.
Mm-hmm. Hello? Why you come here?
Is this the ogre talking in particular?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. In particular, then, I'm going to actually respond in Giant, because I believe that'll be his native tongue to begin with as well. Maybe? I don't know. I'm going to try.
Try it.
Giant. First things, we're going to speak in Giant and just say,
We've come to talk.
which is not a
In
phrase
Giant.
I imagine is uttered often in Giant.
In Giant, it's...
Why for you come to parley with us? Well, because the city is in disarray and unifying the city is the best way to go about things, so we're hoping to have a conversation to lead towards that end.
That was all said in Giant, by the way.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
I just nod along to whatever Rekka says.
The
Doesn't matter if I can understand it or not.
the Weaver by the side, who looks like a kind of roguish type, is just sort of like, hey. Can we all talk something we all understand? I'm sure he appreciates you, speaking the tongue of his ancestors, but...
Oh,
Let's keep open communication here, my friend.
what would you prefer? Undercommon?
Yep.
Great.
I repeat exactly what I said in Giant.
So you're here to talk.
Yes,
Who do you represent?
I represent myself. But specifically, we're talking to we are trying to unify people. We are a group that is simply acting as diplomats between groups at the moment.
You can give me a persuasion roll for that one.
Hockey dokie.
Okay!
It's a 10. Ha!
Yeah, we're not really open to negotiations right now. That time might come. Right now, orders just to send you on your way, And then this way, he doesn't have to throw rocks at you. I don't have to stab you. You don't have to try and stab me. You'd fail.
Oh, there's gonna be no stabbing.
I don't have any
I
interest.
feel like a lot of your members aren't representing your group very well.
That's
They were
true.
throwing paint everywhere. It's very
A
rude.
lot.
Generally
of people-
disruptive and
There's
disorganized.
not a lot of us, and things are.
Well, the fact that there's not a lot of
strange
you
right
and such a
now.
good number of you are doing these things is just
It is
really bad.
disappointing, honestly. I mean, we're here as an independent group, really just trying to make sure that the best for the city is had, one way or the other. We have negotiated already towards the freedom of slaves. That is part of our group's efforts. We are trying to make sure that the people over at the Torturer's Tavern have good jobs. I am currently actually the leader of the union for that group, and we are currently just trying to make things better here. And honestly, the neighborhood has been overrun by Shateen. There was a spider that was casting spells by digging its fangs into a body of a dead mage. And then your people, of all the things they could be doing, are running through the streets just throwing paint on things. That was disappointing to see. In
My
this,
name is Yuna, by the
our
way.
time of need.
And I can see the future and read minds. And I can tell you that working against you is going to lead to bad things, and working with you is going to lead to good things. So, if you could let us in, that would be great.
You can give me a
That's
persuasion roll with advantage, you know. Advantage? This never happens to me.
No!
This is the opposite of the normal occurrence.
Did it roll?
Oh, I did. Can you not see? It's a 20
No.
and 11. No, 20 total.
The guy, like, spits out the tobacco-like substance he was chewing on. And nods a bit.
My hand
like-
is held out, by the way, like a shake.
Oh,
Oh,
he'll shake it while the other hand is like on the short blade on his side. It's like, oh, you know, I gotta be careful. This guy doesn't like everyone.
Is he motioning to the ogre again?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to shake the ogre's hand with the same motion.
The ogre is gonna fist bump you, which kind of makes your arm concertina into your.
Hell yeah.
And in giant, I'm just gonna say, right on.
Right on, brother.
No one else here understands it. It's fine.
Look, if you are independent, then maybe you could be of some use. But that's not for me to decide. That's for the people in charge. If you keep all your hands where they should be, where I can see them, when I can take you, we can talk about this.
That would be lovely. What's your name?
My name is Hator.
Hator. Very nice to meet you. My name is Rakath.
That's unfortunate.
I honestly have embraced it at this point.
He will kind of motion up at the gates, and someone will start pulling the levers and things that start the overly ornate portcullis opening.
I'm going to ask what the ogre's name is in giant as well.
Ryoga has a name, and it's a
I
good
believe
one.
you. I believe you.
I can't not think of that meme every time I don't have a name ready, because it's so perfect. Their name is Doric.
Doric.
Not Big Sal, but, you know, close.
It's nice to meet you too, Doric.
You know, Rakath, if you want a new name, you can just pick one.
That's okay. I'm sure I had a name before I was named Rakath, and I've forgotten that a long time ago, so... who knows?
Maybe we can go on a dream journey and find it.
Oh, the last dream journey was not very fun. Maybe next
I had
time.
a good time.
I'm glad you had a good time, but one of me is more than enough.
Are you ready?
Oh, yes, quite.
Thank you.
Doric,
Carry
you
on.
stay here, and we'll start leading you through, walking you through the walkways that go through all these stalled factories, which are kind of haunting. Things that are meant to be in perpetual motion that are just still. Because these factories are like a modern manufactory that like makes cars. It's a lot of wheels and walkways and things being pulled along that are meant to be dragged through and just still. Some stuff's still being done, but like some of the machines are being made to, you know, grind food instead and stuff like that. This is where the weavers really are, like the true weavers, but even then they're very small in number, and most of them are guards, and clearly some areas of this factory district are still not under control, but there's not currently fighting going on. It's like those people have kind of just holed up. He takes you towards that penthouse building through one of the larger, very long factory castles, which again, completely stalled. This building has a very uncomfortable smell around it, a very acidic smell that flows through the building. As you walk, Atul would say, you know, it's really useful. If you really are as good as you say you are, and I have my doubts, we always need more help. Especially with what's going on.
I'm gonna cast Detect Thoughts on him.
He's suspicious of you. But he's trying... it's kind of a feeling you've read from Jericho a few times. He's trying to do good. He's been told to be accepting. And he's trying to have that, like, leap of faith. But he's still very trained paranoid.
That's so sweet. I'm gonna say that out loud. It's like, you really want to do the good thing. And if you want, I can probe deeper into your mind. Just to prove that we can do what we can say we do. I'm not gonna do it without asking because, you know, we're also...
Yeah, I would really appreciate you not doing that.
Okay.
Are you thinking dirty thoughts right now? Is that why?
No.
No, he's a good boy.
Okay. I believe you. She's very good at this, so I believe her.
Yeah, I believe in your abilities.
I don't know if that's true or not, but I'm not gonna probe deeper because I said I wouldn't.
He leads you
So
to
cool.
the penthouse. This big open hall chamber that is fitting of a drow noble in such a high point of society they can have a very large place to exist. And it was where the War Strider lived, so everything is Drider-sized. It seems earlier, this place was ransacked. There's like bookcases that were... Some books are like all thrown over the place, but then they've been put back in, but not in like the right order. This place was clearly ransacked when the Weavers went through it, and now that they're kind of here, they've kind of been fixing up a little bit. This place clearly goes off into other floors and different areas, and he says, "You wait there. I'll see if we have someone who can talk to you. Now you stay. I'll know if you leave. If you move, you do anything, you go and hide in the shadows, you cast any more sneaky spells, I'll know. Just sit in that chair. Stay
We're
put."
here for talking, not for stabbing. Don't worry.
Yaha. Sure. And he'll like...
If we were here for stabbing, we wouldn't have walked directly in and talked to you directly. We would have gone around and we would have killed you all slowly and quietly.
I know some people who would do the former way.
We wanted to talk to you. That's
He
why we're
says-
here. That's why we're still talking.
Walking upstairs to find someone to talk to.
He reminds me of Draco.
A little bit, yes.
Yeah,
I
their minds work
agree.
a little the same way. It's adorable.
He's a little bit more outright arrogant, though, than Draco is. Draco likes to test the waters on that first before he actually jumps towards arrogance. I like this one, though.
I do too.
Is Big Sal with us still? I
No,
know
he
his name.
was left at the door.
Oh,
Doric.
okay. Yeah, I
not
know.
Big
I know
Sal.
his name. I know
Big
his
Sal is not canon.
name. Okay. So that's okay. Alright.
I also
And we
like Doric.
rename him Big Sal.
No,
Make
I
it
mean,
canon.
we can just call him that.
he can choose his own name.
His name's Doric.
His name is Doric.
It's like the New Monday Games only had one session as already a reoccurring joke, but no one can remember someone's name. And I love hate it. So it's canon.
Yeah.
As with all things. This is a great place for a break. I didn't even notice. So we're going to take a break now. I love hate that. As with all things, we'll be back in a couple of minutes. How time flies when you're being arrogant.